Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Do not come for me, okay? I only got two hairstylists in this God-forbidden, God-forsaken small town in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico, okay? Both of them are booked and busy. Don't know what I'm about to do with my hair, but I know I need to take a break from braids. So I want to talk about the NBA, okay? I want to talk about basketball. And I want to talk about the future of the NBA and will there be a future in the NBA? Now, of course, I've been talking about this. Everybody and their mom has been talking about this all season long, especially when we got introduced to Bronny. Okay, Bronny, that is LeBron James' son, LeBron James Jr. As soon as he got introduced, all these conversations and discussions about nepotism and how the NBA is just rigged and it's a failed product began. I've done a previous video about this, about how the new NBA players, it seems to be a lack of passion and drive in the sport due to a myriad of reasons. But I came across a tweet early this morning, guys. Again, I follow a lot of sports music content on my Twitter. And this is what Zig, okay, aka Xavier Miller, said on his Twitter. He tweeted, "Basketball has unofficially become an upper middle class and rich person sport. I agree. It costs anywhere between $30 to $100 per hour to get a kid basketball training, and to play in AAU teams can cost anywhere from $300 to $600, and that's without travel, hotels, food, gas, new shoes, etc. Today, if a kid isn't getting trained year-round, they almost have no chance of making the NBA, and the average American parent doesn't have the funds or time to invest into development. Historically, players that came from low-income backgrounds is what made the NBA, because they play with a flair, passion, and hunger that typically comes from not having much. LeBron, Magic, Kareem, Wilt, Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, Shaq, KD, D-Wade, D-Rose, KG, Westbrook, Harden, etc. Now, again, there are many men who did come from, two-parent stable households. Their parents were married, such as Kobe Bryant, such as the Michael Jordan, okay? I didn't know that, but they did have fathers in their lives and moms, but they wasn't like teen moms. They were like married to their dads, whatever. But it's like they also, let's be honest, okay, this might be controversial. They had their playing era was, and the era for them to grow up was like pre-80s, okay? In the 80s, it was like the crack epidemic. That's when you seen like a lot of drug overdoses, a lot of single black moms. It began to become more normal. It became just like everyday life, because of, again, like the drug epidemic, the crack epidemic of the 80s. Just look it up. In the 80s and 90s, it has a lot to do with, like, black families becoming unstable. But that's neither here nor there, sort of. So today's NBA is filled with mostly players that come from upper middle class, well-to-do families, or foreigners, and that's why it seems so uncompetitive and passionless, which is why the ratings are way down. It's so much money in youth basketball today, so I'll never go back to how it'll never go back to how it once was. And them doubling down on prioritizing foreign players doesn't help with the average American interest. I believe within 15 years, the NBA will be completely irrelevant in America. Again, I really hope what he's saying is not true, but I can see that happening. Within 15 years, or possibly even less, they said the NBA will be irrelevant. Now I'm looking at all the quotes and the people actually responding back to that text. I mean, not that text, that tweet that he sent. They're saying that the NBA is already irrelevant. Everybody on TikTok is like, the NBA is unwatchable and is an inferior, failed product. Why is everybody, just like friends and buddy? There's no passion. There's no drive. There's no longer an instinct, a killer instinct inside of these men to take off each other's head on that court, because everybody is just like, they want to be coming together as friends, Barneys and friends, and everybody's just cool like that. And it's like, it wasn't always like this in, like, say, the 80s and 90s. Jordan, Kobe Bryant, it was real beef. Again, I saw an interesting stat. Okay, again, somebody had actually replied to his tweet with this. They said 52%, guys. That's more than half. 52% of the men that you see in, like, this current generation, like the newer generation of NBA basketball players, they are genetically related to, like, a previous NBA player, right? Like their father, their uncle, brother, somebody that they are genetically related to, okay? They share DNA with. They were once NBA players. And again, like, it makes sense. Look at Keon Anthony. Again, I love him. He's committed to Syracuse. His father being Carmelo Anthony, his mother Lala Anthony. He's right now, he's 17, 6'5". Okay, his dad is 6'7". He has that genetic advantage. Basketball is, I think it's the only sport, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I believe basketball is the only sport where your genetics, okay, whatever you inherited from your parents hereditarily, that is going to determine whether or not you will really actually have a career, or a career that will actually go far when it comes to the professional basketball world. Okay, soccer, of course, football, you got to be a bit big. You got to be big, strong, tall, lean, built. You can even be fat. But basketball, that height advantage. Again, your height, guys. Yes, your environment and your nutrition and woo. were you playing sports as a kid? Like that has something to do with it, but mainly your genetics. Okay, it's gonna like load the bullets in the gun, and then your environment and everything else will pull that trigger. Height is a huge component and overall advantage physically when it comes to the game of basketball. 52% of the NBA players that we see today, they have fathers, uncles, and brothers, and whatever, what have you, family members who are in the NBA. And what's interesting is you even see it in the WNBA. Okay, I actually did a series about this. I think I only completed part one. If you see a lot of the WNBA players, guys, just Google them. Just pick out a random name in the hat. So many of the women in the WNBA, their fathers were NBA players, NFL players, and their mothers were NBA players, not NBA players, I'm sorry. Their mothers were basketball players. They ran track. They were bodybuilders. Again, Angel Reese, both of her parents were basketball players. Her mom stands at 5'11", Angel Reese Sr. Okay, she's named after her mom. Her dad played basketball at the University of Maryland College. Her grandparents played. Her uncles and aunts played. DJ Carrington, her father, is the Darren Carrington. He played 8 seasons for San Diego. He was an NFL safety for 8 seasons. He played football. Her mom, DJ Carrington's mom, was a D1 track athlete at the Arizona State University of Arizona. Okay, that's how she met her father, and her mom was also a bodybuilder. Look at DJ Carrington's muscles. Look how she can like just easily. I think she literally slung Kia Nurse like she was nothing. Okay, DJ Carrington has she has a genetic advantage. Okay, she's strong, she's fast and quick, and again, like it's that genetic component, right? It's other players, Alyssa Peely, okay, Samoan woman, big, strong, beautiful Samoan woman, 6'2". Her brothers are in the freaking NFL. It's like, again, so many of these athletes that you see today, specifically male NBA players, not only do they have that genetic advantage of having family members who were once in the NBA themselves, but they have the funds. Again, guys, basketball, and it breaks my heart, but we can't keep on pretending like this is not happening right in front of us. Basketball is becoming a rich, almost white man sport. Let's be real. Again, like I just told y'all, he said it can cost a parent between $30 to $100 per hour for them to put their children in a basketball training camp or classes to attend a AAU. It's $600 plus. Just for them to join certain sports leagues, certain basketball programs, basketball teams, excluding hotels, gas, the uniforms. If they break their leg playing basketball, like all the medical expenses, it's crazy. Basketball was a sport. This is another thing. I want to do another video about this separately. Like why basketball? Why black people love basketball? It's one of those sports that doesn't require much equipment, right? It's not that expensive, but it's becoming expensive because of the nepotism. Sorry, let's be honest, because of the capitalism and also that genetic component. Of course, if your dad was like 6 foot, look at the Baller brothers, right? Big Baller brothers: LaMelo Ball, LiAngelo Ball, Lonzo Ball. Their mom is 6 feet tall. She played volleyball and basketball. Their dad was 6'5". He played baseball, football, basketball. Again, I got that genetic component. So of course they're having children and stuff. Hopefully they have them with taller women, right? Tallish women. Those kids can continue to like go through that like they can become legacy basketball players, right? Because again, basketball, your genetics is a huge component of where your career will be if you ever will have a career. They're saying that the NBA will become NHL. Okay, they're saying that basketball will become like hockey. It's going to become irrelevant in America overall, and that like it's just going to be a bunch of foreigner players that have just completely taken over. African Americans, we're going to just continue to lose interest in it because we're not going to be able to afford to send our children to these expensive basketball camps. Again, a lot of people have been complaining that the NBA is unwatchable due to everybody checking up threes, ain't nobody playing defense, and then on top of that, it's like, again, like this is my problem. Again, I don't have a problem with nobody checking up threes. I do have a problem with these men lacking defense. Okay, it's no excuse for that. I want to post it again. I'm not trying to body shame nobody. I want to post a picture of Zion Williamson. Okay, Zion Williamson. Look at his body again. I'm trying to be objective. Okay, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just want to make this point. I just want to make it clear. This man is 24 years of age. He's a professional athlete. Again, if you guys know me, if you're new to my channel, one of my pet peeves is professional athletes that don't look like professional athletes. You're a professional athlete. I want to see the biceps. I want to see the triceps. I want to see the traps. Okay, I want to see the abs. I want to see it all. This man literally looks like he doesn't play ball. Like again, like it's just no passion with these new men. It's not just the biracial men. We can't just keep hating on the light skinned men. Okay, it's just the players who got white moms, who grew up in white neighborhoods, privilege. No, it's just a generational thing with a lot of the men that we see, the current generation, 30 and below, the younger players in the NBA. There is no reason for LeBron James, Steph Curry to be in their 30s, late 30s, almost. Well, LeBron is 41, I believe now, right? He's in his 40s. He's more yoked up and ripped up than Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson has a pot belly, like he drinks beer all day. He has breasts. Okay, that's a huge issue with these young men nowadays. Okay, I'm about to go on a whole other rant. I think it's called gynoclastomia or something. When men like they eat so much and they're not active, like it's like their testosterone just goes on hiatus, and then the estrogen around their bodies it just like floods them. They literally start having breasts like they're about to feed young. Like, dude, Zion Williamson put a shirt on, cut down them calories, stop drinking soda, juice, and beer and all this other nonsense. Get some discipline. Be a man. Start doing 300 push-ups a day, 300 crunches a day. Start bench pressing. Okay, get that body to where you need to be. Again, it's no discipline. There's no passion. There's no way people are paying me 200 million. Some of these people, guys, some of these NBA players are getting paid 150 million dollars plus. Okay, with these contracts, and you coming up out of shape. You got titties. Okay, you got birthing hips. You got a bad attitude. Everybody is out. Everybody is injured. Michael Jordan said, like, you know what? Every time I play a game, it's somebody in that crowd, okay, that have never seen me play. So he's like, I got to put on a great performance for them to show them my appreciation that they would actually even buy tickets to see me play. Nowadays, your favorite players, they're talking about they gotta rest their bodies up. Okay, they're trying to preserve their health. Again, like your health always comes first. I say mentally, your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, your financial health. Your health comes first, and I get that. But again, there's a way that you can, change your lifestyle. Maybe y'all will stop getting drunk every other night, screwing a bunch of groupies, and doing all this other non-disciplinary actions, okay, not having enough discipline and self-control. You wouldn't be constantly, sore and torn and aching. It's like, again, it's always something wrong with these men. It's like you can't even watch your favorite player play, either, in person, in the freaking crowd, or at home, in the comfort of your home watching the television set, because everybody is claiming that they're injured. They got to preserve their health. They got to preserve their bodies. And they got to sit out this game because their head hurt, their ankle hurts, their neck hurt, their back hurts, their coochie hurts. It's like, it's ridiculous. Where is the discipline with these current NBA players? Again, nepotism, capitalism, and just the overpricing of basketball, the skill level set. Again, like the men that I grew up on, the Michael Jordans, Allen Iverson, okay, they had that passion. I remember the Malice in the Palace. It was like 2002, 2003 when that happened. I was a kid. And like after that, Allen Iverson with the braids, it was like, you know what, y'all can't have no more tattoos. The braids, y'all got to start wearing suits. Y'all got to keep it professional and all this other nonsense. Man, screw that. These are grown men. Let them be aggressive. I'm not saying to be a thug, but the lack of defense, and like I think that, again, like that Malice in the Palace stuff that happened in the early 2000s, it didn't scare everybody. It scared the viewers, right? Because some of the freaking people in the crowd was getting pummeled, and I get that, but it's like, again, these are grown men. It's a professional physical sport. Let them have passion. Let them show aggression. The NBA, if they don't do something soon about this mess and all the drama surrounding these new players that don't want to do nothing and they just trifling with lack of discipline, they are going to be cooked.